the water as an elephant picks up a lotus flower from a lake. When you vibrate a transcendental sound in that gigantic form of a boar, the sound was accepted as a sacrificial hymn, and great sages like Sanaka meditated upon it and offered prayers for your glorification. Purport by His Divine Grace. His Divine Grace La Prabhupada ki jai. A significant word used in this verse is Traigatra, which means that the transcendental form of the Lord is the Vedas. Anyone who engages in the worship of the deity or the form of the Lord in the temple is understood to be studying all the Vedas 24 hours a day. Simply by decorating the deities of the Lord, Radha and Krishna, in the temple, one very minutely studies the injunction of the Vedas. Even a neophyte devotee who simply engages in the worship of the deity is understood to be in the direct touch with the purport of Vedic knowledge, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Vedesja sarved aham eva vedya. The purport of the Vedas is to understand him, Krishna. One who worships and serves Krishna directly has understood the truth of the Vedas. Let's do the Vaishnava prayers. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakruntam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Siyuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabudhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sabhishakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvescha Krupa Sindhu Vacha Patitanang Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktapunda Nilachara Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyang Jagannathaya Te Nama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So these days we are discussing the Canto 4 and now we are discussing the Brahmana's glorification on Supreme Personality of Godhead. Basically, we are discussing the chapter of the sacrifice performed by Daksha. And here very beautifully the Brahmanas are glorifying that there is no difference between the Archa and Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Vedas. Basically, they are all here. They are saying that they are all same. And here, Prabhupada very beautifully, he is glorifying deity worship, and he is very beautifully he is saying that if somebody is doing a deity worship, or basically that is equivalent to reading Shastra 24 hours a day. So my knowledge on this beautiful subject matter is very limited, but with all of your guidance and blessings of the Guru and Gauranga, would like to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam for my own purification. So we see here in this verse there is a word is here, Traigatra. Traigatra means transcendental form of the Lord, that is the Vedas. That's what actually Prabhupada is translating it. He is basically he is telling that Trai means that basically it's a three branch of Vedic knowledge. In the Vedas, there are three references are there. In the three references, there is basically a Karma Kanda, then there is a Jnana Kanda, then there is a Upasana Kanda. And the Gatra means basically body. Basically the Gatra means basically the body or form of the Lord. So here, in the direct translation, Prabhupada is saying that Vaigatra basically is the personified Vedic knowledge. So here, Brahmanas are basically they're discussing about the Baraha pastime, about the boar incarnation. In the Baraha pastime, what we see, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Baraha, basically he is picking up Mother Earth, who was basically submerged in the water. So if we go back to the like now we are in Kali Yuga, to go back to Satya Yuga when this like the discussion is going on in Naimisharan, right? So if you go to Satya Yuga, that past time, Earth was basically tormented by the demons, and Hiranyaka basically what he has done, he has taken the Mother Earth and he has basically submerged in the water. So when Brahma is doing the creation, he is saying that Mother Earth is not there. So he's offering prayer. All the demigods and Brahma is offering prayer. And then when the prayer is up, bring upward, and Supreme Personality Godhead, basically he comes out of Brahma's nostril in the form of a Baraha form. It's a gigantic board form. So you can imagine, like the gigantic board form is so huge that it is basically capturing the entire universe, like from the bottom of the earth, you can say, to the upper million, upper, like upper locus, it has been captured. So that form is coming out of Brahma's nostril. It's a little bit thumb size, and then it expands. So from this we can imagine that Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, like for the devotee's benefit or devotee's protection, and to give shelter, he can take up any form and he can come out of it. He can come out of any places. So we should, but if we talk to an ordinary person who doesn't have faith on Krishna or Supreme Personality Godhead or his energy, he won't understand this. So when Krishna is coming out is the form of Varahadev, basically he is rescuing Mother Earth, and he is bringing her up, and he's keeping her in a safe place. So here Prabhupada is very beautifully describing that Brahmanas are glorifying him, that you picked up the world from the water as an elephant picks up a lotus flower from a lake. So there are earlier also when we were discussing Varahadev's Varaha's appearance, when we were discussing, I remember we studied that there are two references are there. One reference is there will be mountains are there. When on the top of the mountains will be very huge, and when the mountains on the top of the mountain, the cloud basically touches over there. It looks like a necklace, and is a huge mountain, and the cloud is basically residing on top of it. It looks very beautiful. So that is one way of looking at it. Like this Baraha form is very huge, and on top of that, when he sees that form is lifting Mother Earth, like on the task that basically Acharya has glorified, that it was looking like this like the cloud on the top of the mountain. So here there is another reference is there, that how Barahadab is picking up Mother Earth, because it's same way, because same way as an elephant, basically he is entering into the water and picking up a lotus and offering. So we might have seen the references a lot of times, that Gajendra, he is basically lifting up a lotus, and we can imagine that picture, and he is just lifting it. It's so swiftly he is lifting a lotus and offering to Supreme Person Godhead. So when the Brahmanas are glorifying here, that it is looks so simple for Varahadev, like Mother Earth is so huge. For us, if somebody asks us, that just hold a 2 kilos of something in your hand and walk for 1 mile or 2 mile. It is, we get tired. It becomes very difficult. Sometimes from the shopping mall, shopping, like when you go to do grocery, we buy 2 or 3 rice bags and hold and work. It becomes very difficult for us. But if we can see here, like Supreme Personality Godhead in the form of Barahadev, basically what he is doing, the entire Mother Earth, he just holding in his dust and is coming out, and he's doing it so swiftly, so pleasingly, and so lovingly, that it looks like a elephant is picking up a lotus flower from a lake. And then what happens? Then our Acharyas also say that further what happens, that when he is bringing out, there is some sound is coming up from Brahata, some divine sound is coming. So if our Brahmanas, then what happens? Sanaka and those sages were there, that basically glorifying on the significance of the sound that Barahadar made. So when the gigantic board, the sound is coming, and Sanaka and the other sages are meditating on the sound, and simultaneously, basically what they are doing, they're glorifying the form of Barahadev and glorifying the Lord. So here actually in the purport, it is Prabhupada is saying that anyone who engages in the worship of the deity or the form of the Lord in the temple is understood to be studying all the Vedas 24 hours a day. Simply by decorating the deities of the Lord, Radha and Krishna in the temple, one very minutely studies the injunction of the Vedas. Even a neophyte devotee who simply engages in the worship of the deity is understood to be in direct touch with the purport of Vedic knowledge. How is this possible? Because if we see that we always give stress that, like we all have to read a book. There are so many classes we attend. And we also, there are also, when we join ISKCON, there is a ISKCON Disciple course. It is mandatory for us, all of us to do. And then later on, we do systematic study of Bhagavad Gita. Like Prabhupada always encourages us that you read Bhagavad Gita, then you read Bhagavatam, then we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Like we all have witnessed after COVID time, like from our temple, we systematically everybody studied Bhagavad Gita. Then now we are studying, after it is done, we are starting now Srimad Bhagavatam. So systematically we are doing. Like Nitya Bhagavata Seva we do. Every day we are Bhagavata Seva we are doing. Every day we are studying. Now early morning we all are gathered here and we are glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam and this beautiful topic. But here Prabhupada is translating that anyone who engages in the worship of the deity or in the form of the Lord in the temple is understood to be studying all the Vedas 24 hours a day. Somebody might tell that yes, so why to do this study? Let us all of us do this deity worship, because here it is same, the same. But how can this be same? Because we always emphasize on reading Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita, or reading any of the Krishna books, or getting association of the Lord and his devotees. So we can take it in understand in this way. Krishna is absolute. Krishna is Purna Purushottam. He is basically 100%. We all are basically minute, and whatever studies we are doing here, this is the material level. For us, what we study and what we are, and everything is different. But in Krishna's case, Krishna is absolute. So Krishna can be realized by his name, by his rupa, by his guna, and by his lila. So there is no difference in Krishna and his name, and no difference between Krishna and his pastime, and no difference between Krishna and his activity or lila, or there is no difference between Krishna and his qualities. Like Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Lila, all these things in Krishna, like are there, right? They are all absolute. So if somebody is reciting Krishna's name, that is a method of reaching Krishna, because there is no difference between Krishna and his name. So Chaitanya Charitamrita in our Stikasakam, he says, Namnam Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Sakti. Basically, Krishna is saying, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that, oh Krishna, you have basically invested all their potencies in these names, and there are no hard and fast rule remembering them. So basically, Krishna and his name, they are all same, like all the mantras we do, right? Right? In Kali Yuga, basically, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a bona fide mantra. It's the 16 syllables mantra. They say that in Kali Yuga, this Nama, basically there is no difference between Krishna and his name. So if you are chanting these names, our Acharya says that, everything is impure, but this Harinam is pure in Kali Yuga. So if you're constantly chanting Harinam, definitely one day, by Krishna's mercy, we are going to attain Krishna. So any of this we do with 100% faith in Krishna, definitely we are going to get Krishna 100%. But we are not in that level at this moment to get to that our faith is 100%. So our Acharya always says that we should get Shraddha, means little bit Shraddha we should have. Little bit Shraddha we should have, and we should have our Guru and Acharya's Krupa. Then what will happen? Then we will get the mercy of our Guru and Acharyas, and we will have our faith slowly it will increase. And when our faith is increased, Krishna's loving glance will be on us, and slowly our ruchi will increase, and we will follow the path, and slowly we will have that kind of Shraddha, so that we will be in a position to remember Krishna. It will be Krishnized. So Krishna's Swarupa is, our Acharyas described, it is Satchidananda Vigraha. Basically, that is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Basically, eternal, and then there is knowledge, and then there is bliss is there. So by touching the Rupa of the Lord, or the form of the Lord, basically we are touching that Sat and Chit and Ananda part, basically. So basically what happens? We are touching the knowledge part. And we are not the knowledge part and the bliss part. So automatically, when we are doing deity worship with this, and we should remember here that the Shraddha is important also here. Then what will happen? Then our bhakti and all those things starts. So there is also Prahlad Maharaj also he describes about the Navada Bhakti, like Shravanam, Kirtanam, all those things are there. Any of these things we do, we can reach Krishna. But the basic part is Adho Shraddha. That is the basic part. If that is not there, whatever we do, Krishna won't accept. And after some time, without Shraddha in mundane way, also if you are doing, today we'll do deity worship, tomorrow, and or not only deity worship, any kind of seva we do. After tomorrow, 2 3 days we'll do in a mechanical way, we will do. But after that, that our ruchi won't be there, and we will deviate from our standards and we won't do it. So this Archavigraha worship is not ordinary. So then there is a difference between a ordinary devotee worship and there is a difference between a sadhaka worship. What is the difference? Difference is in the Shraddha and difference in the level of understanding. How and difference in our approach, how we are approaching the Archavigraha. So basically, Archavigraha is the Lord's form, and that Archavigraha basically is the bona fide form which is described in the Shastra, that yes, Krishna's will be like Krishna's form is like this. Krishna is a Tribhangi form. He is bending like this. There is a bend here, and he is holding a flute, and his eyes are like this, and there is a little red mark on top of his eyes, and his feet have these many symbols. Like those things are defined in our Shastra. So this Archavigraha, what we see, basically they are representation of that shastric injunction, whatever is studying in that, basically it is there. So Archavigraha is Lord's form, and that is basically our Sakshat Rupa of Lord. So if we see the deity form, the form, you say that it is a matter, like if you say Jagannath Ji, we see that is a wood form. Then our Radha Samsundar is marble form, somewhere it is a metal form. So Lord and his energy, they are not separate. So Archavigraha worship is very important as Lord is residing inside it in his form. So when you are seeing the deity, basically we are seeing the actual form of Lord. And those of us who get an opportunity of deity worship by the guidance of our Guru and Acharyas and following the parampara and the strict rules, they are very, very fortunate. We might not have Shraddha to do deity worship, but if we are going through the discipline succession and we have this Guru's blessings, then what will happen? That when we are doing the deity worship, along with our minor Shraddha, basically what happens? The Guru Shraddha gets added over there. Guru is basically Suddha Bhakta. He is Acharya. He has seen the world. He has seen Krishna. So with that faith, if we are offering any flower to Krishna, like our bhakti is 1% or 2%, but our spiritual master's, his bhakti is 98%, and spiritual master also getting the blessing from his spiritual master. Like we go by that parampara. So our bhakti is 1%, but Krishna in case of Krishna, he is 100%. So whatever you're offering to Krishna, that should be also 100%. So, but we are not qualified to give that 100%. We have only 1%. So the other 99%, basically we get from the blessing and the mercy of our Guru and the Acharyas. Like we see that whenever in the evening we do the Gaura Aarti on Sunday, we directly don't worship Krishna, directly don't worship don't worship Jagannath Ji. We basically what we do Gaura Aarti, and we do Guru Aarti, Tulsi Aarti. So with Tulsi, this Tulsi Ji basically she is in the devotee form. With Tulsi Ji's blessings, and then with Prabhupada blessing and our own Guru Maharaj's blessing and guidance, what happens? Our bhakti slowly gets gets amplified. It gets purified. So like our 1% by the time it reaches through our spiritual master, then his spiritual master, then it goes through the blessings of our other acharyas, then all the Goswamis. Then when it reaches Krishna, it becomes purified, and then Krishna accepts. So when Krishna is accepting this 100% bhakti, our 1% is also there. So we might not have direct connection and Shraddha, since our spiritual master's blessing is there and spiritual master Shraddha is added over there, Krishna basically he accepts. So when we are worshipping and or doing any kind of deity worship, any kind of seva, like whether it is a book distribution, whether it is and cooking, whether it is a garland making, we should always think in that way, that yes, I am not qualified and I don't have the enough adequate Shraddha with me, neither I know anything. I am basically a servant. I am basically servant of these gopis. And in that mode, if we worship with this humility, then with our Guru's guidance and blessing, Krishna is going to accept our services. So when we are offering this Guru Vandana prayer, he says that Yashya Prasadas Bhagavat Prasado, Yashya Prasado Nagata Utopi. That means that by satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he becomes satisfied. And by satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of there is no chance of there is always a good chance of, doing this deity worship or whatever seva we are doing. And with that seva, basically, we are going to promote it to the upper planets. So same thing also with chanting, when those like when we are chanting, basically some of us when we are chanting, we fast basically we offer our chanting to our guru. When we are initiated, there is a guru pranam mantra is there. So when we do guru pranam mantra, and then otherwise we do our um, otherwise what we do, Panchatattva Pranam Mantra, and we take their blessings, and with this blessing and Guru's mercy, basically when we are purified, then when we are chanting, then our chanting becomes a little bit better. Otherwise, it is just a sound vibration. Therefore, Guru is always a medium to reach Krishna. Without Guru's Krupa, we cannot reach Krishna. So our purity of service also slowly increases by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his servants and servant of servant. So we should always think in that way, that how to reach Krishna. Basically, to reach Krishna, what we should do, we should go through a path, like any place we go. What we do, basically we will follow the GPS. We'll follow the in that Google map. Basically, we take a look and we see how to go over there. So similarly, when we want to reach Krishna, so we should go through our Guru Parampara. All the services that Prabhupada has given us, these are all transcendental. Whether it is a cooking services, whether it is a book distribution service, whatever we do, we should give our 100%, 100% Shraddha, and we should do our service to Srila Prabhupada. So there was a devotee who was very good in gardening, who was very good in gardening, and Prabhupada told him that, that our Krishna is so beautiful and we should provide him the flowers from our gardens. So initial days, any new ISKCON temple was getting constructed, he will be going there and he will be doing the gardening work. So whatever he knew about the gardening, basically, then he used to use it as service to Srila Prabhupada. So by doing that, what happens? He used to research, how to do a better job. Like those who are gardening at home, so we might be seeing that every day, like we take care of our plants, and then we study more how the bugs won't come, then we do the fencing, all those things we do. And why we do? So that we'll have a nice crop. So similarly, this devotee, he was always taking care of the gardening in a mood that Prabhupada will be satisfied. And when this harvest is going to come, then Krishna is going to be satisfied. And by doing that, what he was doing, he was keeping Krishna in center, and slowly he was getting Krishnized. So there was this Mataji also was there. There was Mataji who was basically instrumental in preparing all these nice, like diagrams in Prabhupada books, and all these big paintings, mural paintings we see in Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan. There was a Mataji was there. So when this Mataji was new, and somebody asked him, Prabhupada is asking you, what is your strength? She told painting. Then Prabhupada called Mataji. Mataji's name is Jadurani Mataji. So Prabhupada called Jadurani Mataji and asked, Jadurani, are you good at painting? I heard. She told, yes, I am good at painting. Then Prabhupada described her how Krishna Balaram is standing, and they are basically gauging the cows. So hearing from Prabhupada, she started to paint. Then when the painting is done, she went to show it to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was very happy to see see this beautiful painting. Then Prabhupada instructed her that if she could be interested in doing all these paintings in his books. So Jadurani Mataji was telling in an interview that Prabhupada used to dictate, this is how Krishna is looking, this is all these descriptions Prabhupada was telling them. These Matajis have never seen Krishna before. Most of them have not seen Krishna in the form. So hearing from Prabhupada, so they have that much faith in their Guru, and so that they have not seen Krishna, they have not seen Vrindavan. So only thing is what is there? They are hearing this transcendental vibration from Srila Prabhupada, that this is how Krishna Balaram was looking. This is how Krishna's complexion is. This is how Krishna was getting the cows. This is how the cow was looking at Krishna. Hearing that, Jadurani Mataji did all these paintings. And when Prabhupada saw them, he told, they are simply beautiful. And this is basically transcendental fulfillment of the service. So whatever services we do, we should give our 100%. And with Guru and our Acharya Shraddha, whatever service we do, Krishna is going to accept it. Now, all these books we see, all these nice paintings Radharani Mataji has done, and now we all are cherishing them. Now, in this AI image time, all these images are there. Jadurani Mataji's images and drawings, whatever she has done, they still stands out. Now, here, Prabhupada is referring to Bhagavad Gita 15:15. In that verse, it says that Sarvasya Chaham, that will be Sannivishta, that verse is there. So here the last two lines are Vedesja Sarve Aham Sabhavedya and Vedana Vedabit Eva Chaham. That means that the Vedas offer knowledge of the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. And Krishna, in each incarnation, as Vasudev, basically he is the compiler Vedanta Sutra. And this commentary on Vedanta Sutra also is written by Vasudev. Who is Vasudev? Vasudev basically is an Vasudev, which also an incarnation of Krishna, we can say that. In all the Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads, and all these Purana, 18 Puranas were there. Only thing is prominent is the glories of Supreme Personality of Lord. That is basically discussed. So by performance here, there are three ways to reach Krishna. One is in this chapter, in this verse 15, chapter 15 and verse 15, Prabhupada says there are three ways to reach Krishna. One is by the performance of the Vedic rituals. Another is the discussion of the Vedic philosophy, and the last one is the worship of the Lord and by following the devotional service, Krishna can be attained. So therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. So any book we do, anything we do, our purpose is basically to understand Krishna. Like if in the Varnasamutama we are there, right? So any services we do, basically we should do, our understanding should be that how to reach Krishna, how to know Krishna. If that way we should do, if we do any services, then what will happen? We will get released from this material entanglement. So here, with this understanding, so Prabhupada is saying here that anyone who engages in the worship of the deity or in the form of the Lord in the temple is understood to be studying all the Vedas 24 hours a day. So here, when we do deity worship, in our ISKCON movement, we are encouraged to read all the Shastras. Prabhupada always used to say that I don't want my Brahmanas just to be Brahmanas. They should be knowing all the Shastras before doing deity worship, so that they are 100%. They have 100% faith. And tomorrow, if somebody challenges him, he should be able to answer it. So all these, so here, very beautifully, Prabhupada is saying that deity worship and book distribution and reading and studying all these Vedas 24 hours a day, he is basically doing a parallel simile to both these paths. So with this, would like to end today's discussion. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Mataji. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. Today the Pana time is from
6:40 to 10:47.
6:40 to 10:47. Good. Yeah, 6:40 to 10:47 a.m. We'd like to offer the prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Radhe Jai Mukha Padma Bhringam, Ugra
Ugraveram, Vishnu, Janardhan, Charutamukha,
Nrsimha,
Narsimha,
Bhishram, Bhadram, Mrityum,
Bhadram,
Mrityum Namamyam.
Namamyam.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad
Jai,
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vanchakalpataruvasya
Kalpataruvasya
Patitanam
Tanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavane Bhayo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Namaha.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai,
Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Granthara
Jai,
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Manande Hari 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 Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare
Thank
Hari
you,
Bol, Hare
Prince
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
everybody. Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, one question I have. Question, Hari Bol Prabhu.
Yeah, go
Question
ahead.
is the Pitripakha, how to offer, what is the process? Do you know the Pitripakha, how to offer to the ancestor? Do you
Yeah,
know any, what is the
yeah.
process?
So you want to call me?
Yes, I can call you, Prabhu.
Yeah, give me a call.
I'll call you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.